Ariana is joining Katie and Dana for a recording session of Disrespectfully. I'm eagerly anticipating this episode. While I already enjoy this podcast, Ariana's presence will surely add some excitement to it. It's quite amusing because I wasn't a fan of Dana during her time on VPR, but listening to their podcast, I've grown to love her. She comes across as really wonderful. And Scheana is having Lala as a guest on her show. While it would be nice to hear Ariana and Katie discuss the season, I also hope they indulge in some girl talk. I appreciate that Katie and Dana keep VPR discussions to a minimum. If the format follows their typical episodes, I imagine they might start with a brief recap, perhaps asking Ariana if her views on anything have changed since watching the season, and share a laugh about how foolish everyone was. Then, hopefully, they'll spend the remainder of the episode discussing SA and their adventures as friends. Dana and Ariana have attended a few festivals together in recent months, and I'd love to hear some entertaining stories from those. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Spill Chronicles. It's me, Ramona, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. Additionally, does anyone else find Lisa's fashion choices a bit off for someone of her wealth and status? Her brightly colored bras often peek out of her clothes, and her suits seem to overpower her rather than complement her. It's a shame because she's quite stunning, but her attire doesn't do her justice. While her jewelry is impressive, it rarely seems to match her outfits and can sometimes appear overly flashy. It's a bit peculiar. With her resources, she could easily hire a stylist. Perhaps she should consider enlisting Stassi's help. She truly shines in simpler ensembles, like a crisp white shirt paired with jeans or neutral-colored dresses, reminiscent of the Roland Moret capped sleeve style. I understand that it's part of Lisa's personal brand, but the visible pink push-up bras, frilly satin shirts in pink and purple, and casino manager blazers don't flatter her. She can afford better options, including her recent veneers. Considering she's 62 years old, it's reasonable to expect her to dress in a manner befitting her age. At least she's not trying to cling to her youth with inappropriate attire. For the record, I'm around her age, and I empathize with the changes that come with aging. While I may wish to fit into smaller sizes, menopause has had its effects. Despite that, I'm grateful for good genetics that have kept wrinkles at bay and my gray hair in check. My body may have changed, but I'll age gracefully, just like my ancestors, and hope for the best. While taste is subjective, I don't believe Lisa's wardrobe could be described as trashy. She clearly enjoys pink, bling, glamour, and animal prints, and that's her prerogative. Personally, what bothers me more is her apparent inability to genuinely support women without making backhanded comments and consistently aligning herself with questionable individuals. Even if she showed up in a casual sweatshirt and bike shorts, I'd be pleased if she took a stand against the misogyny prevalent today. However, Brock lays into Schwartz for betraying Katie and their marriage, surprising everyone with his straightforwardness. Scheana then bluntly states, "You were a shitty husband," maintaining a serious demeanor. Although initially impressed, doubts arise as Brock appears to smile and laugh while delivering his criticism. Personally, I tend to smile and laugh when delivering harsh truths, finding humor in the irony of the situation. In this case, Schwartz's behavior becomes the punchline. While Brock's sincerity is questioned, there's acknowledgement that Schwartz's infidelity isn't trivial, particularly in how it affects Katie's self-esteem. The idea of her husband easily kissing others raises questions about her worth in the relationship. The nonchalant attitude towards Schwartz's actions, coupled with his lack of remorse, is unsettling and would likely be a deal-breaker for many. Despite the seriousness of Brock's comments, there's a sense that he softened the blow with laughter, perhaps acknowledging his own imperfections. Scheana's reaction suggests prior discussions with Brock on the matter. Although awkward, Brock's words seem genuine, especially considering the reactions of Scheana and Schwartz. However, past behavior, such as their involvement in pushing Schwartz towards Rachel, casts doubt on their sincerity. Their purported support now feels hollow and insincere, given their past actions. Moreover, Schwartz and Katie are not on the same level. It's infuriating to hear Schwartz claim they're alike when their actions speak otherwise. The incident with Schwartz and Rachel making out for a TV show was clearly intended to publicly humiliate Katie. Schwartz knew his friend was involved with Rachel and had no emotional connection to her. The whole situation was orchestrated to embarrass Katie, with Sandoval even yelling at Katie's mom while Schwartz remained passive. Comparing this to Katie's involvement with Max is unfair. While Schwartz intentionally used Rachel to make Katie look foolish, Katie's actions with Max weren't aimed at humiliating Schwartz. Additionally, people seem to overlook that this incident occurred a year and a half later, suggesting Schwartz hadn't respected boundaries himself. The way Schwartz talked about Katie and how his friends treated her was appalling. He seemed to scapegoat her and even use Jo to his advantage, revealing his true character. Brock's behavior during the reunion, particularly his jabs at Katie, was out of line. He appeared to purposefully undermine her, which only adds to the dysfunction of the show. Katie's decision to hook up with Max was her own choice, made in the moment. She's entitled to do as she pleases since she's not married or in a relationship. Schwartz could never match Katie's level of confidence and independence. They're not even in the same league. Katie's light years ahead, while Schwartz is still trying to find his footing. On the other hand, I really miss Charlie. She brought a refreshing energy to the show, and I'd love to see her return alongside a new cast of young restaurant workers, just like the show originally started. While they attempted this with the Dana and Max's era, it didn't quite click, but I'm willing to give the concept another chance. Otherwise, it might be time to wrap up the show, because the current cast stories feel exhausted. Vanderpump Rules isn't meant to revolve around wealthy, bitter single moms or bar and sandwich shop owners. It's about young people in dingy apartments, messing up and having fun. I envision a reboot with Charlie and, of course, Peter, alongside genuine SUR employees. No more influencers pretending to need a restaurant paycheck. There's plenty of natural friendship dynamics and competitive personalities in every restaurant. Adding LVP into the mix would undoubtedly stir up some drama. They don't all have to be best friends or romantically involved. Lisa will ensure there's enough tension to keep viewers hooked. I genuinely liked Charlie, although she seemed a bit immature at first. She quickly grew on me. Unfortunately, I doubt she'd return to the show because she's too authentic. She doesn't strike me as someone who'd attend events or hang out with people solely for TV purposes. Her decision not to participate in season 11 because of discomfort around Tom, and her selective Instagram muting suggest she values her integrity over television drama. It's doubtful producers would want to hire someone with such strong morals again, based on this season's trends. However, Lala's recent falling out with Brittany adds to a string of fractured relationships, including Ariana, Katie, Kristen, and now Brittany. It seems like Lala is spiraling out of control, unable to handle any form of disagreement or criticism without perceiving it as a personal attack. This pattern of behavior may lead her down a path of bitterness and isolation, ultimately damaging her friendships and public image. It's concerning to witness Lala's inability to maintain stable connections and her tendency to cut ties at the first sign of conflict. It feels like she's burning bridges left and right, and it's sad to see her unravel in this way. I wouldn't be surprised if Lala's behavior eventually alienates even more people from her circle. It's a cautionary tale for anyone in the public eye. One misstep, and you could find yourself out in the cold. As for Brittany, opinions on her vary among viewers. While some members of the cast took to her, Others found her uninteresting and somewhat lacking in depth. Her tendency to react defensively when questioned or criticized, such as during the minister debacle or defending Jax's behavior, can be off-putting. It's unclear if she's ever made valid points or arguments, as her presence on the show often leads to disengagement from viewers. On the other hand, there's a theory floating around about Tom Schwartz and Jo potentially hooking up before the divorce, and it's not something I've seen discussed much. The suspicion arises partly due to Katie's intense dislike of Jo, aside from the obvious shady behavior. Given Schwartz's history of dishonesty and infidelity, it's not far-fetched to question the timeline of his relationship with Jo. It seems odd that she would randomly reach out to him, especially considering their limited interaction prior to her staying over for only 4 days. Jo herself has mentioned that their communication was sporadic and mostly involved sharing funny content, with occasional haircuts thrown in. There's a feeling among some, including Katie, that something might have transpired between Schwartz and Jo before the divorce. Of course, Schwartz, being the unreliable narrator he is, would never confess to any such indiscretions. Jo's role as the group stealer is another aspect that raises eyebrows. Many suspect she was the go-to person for substances, with Schwartz possibly getting tangled up in that world. It's plausible that their connection was more than just casual friendship, especially considering the group's dynamic and lifestyle. Katie's remark about Jo's limited presence around the group, only popping in occasionally, reinforces the notion that she wasn't welcome among many. She seemingly garnered a reputation as a troublemaker, leading to her being banned from numerous homes and businesses within their social circle. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.